Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are talking about how to add you into your brand and how this boosts sales. So, I'm super excited about today's topic because I feel like it's not something that's talked about enough, or I feel like everyone's always talking about like marketing funnels and email lists and Facebook ads and things like that, but a really big proponent of building a brand that gets noticed and that people want to buy from is the branding and how your role plays a part of that. So that is what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to make sure live and everything is working. I don't see myself live in the group yet. Maybe I will be live in a minute. I know sometimes it has a little bit of a lag. So I'm trusting that I went live in the right place. I did press Start Marketing Club. Oh well, my friends, I'm just gonna hope and pray that we are live and operating and shaking and moving. And you guys can let me know in the comments below if you see me. Okay, I do see it. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure it's working because if some of you guys wanted to hop on here live, I wanted to make sure that you're able to do that. Okay, so the main three things that I'm going to talk about today, if I can just open this up. All right, screw it. Technology is not my friend today, you guys. Not my friend today. All right, so the three things that I want to talk to you guys about today is, so the main topic is how to add you into your brand and boost sales. Okay, so here's the three things we're going to talk about today. Why is it important to be the center of your brand? Now, I know this makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Now, if it does, that's something we can talk about too, but right now we're just going to get into it, okay? And then how being the center of your brand actually brings more customers, okay? And then three strategies to actually, how do you actually bring yourself into your brand, okay? So I'm going to talk about all of it, okay? So first comes first. All right. So why is it important? Why do you need to be in your brand? Like, can I just hide behind my brand? Right? I get that question a lot. Can I just hide behind my brand? I don't really want to be in the center of it, you know? So here's what I'll tell you. And here's what I know from all the years of studying marketing, implementing marketing. I have 2 degrees in marketing, right? Like I've done a lot of marketing. And here's what I know. People connect to people more than they connect to the company. People connect to people more than they connect to like a company. Like think of a company of like a box. Like who's gonna connect to a box? It's just a building, like nobody cares, right? But if you see me standing there, you see a friendly face and someone to connect to and talk to, you're gonna be more drawn to it. Now, I have seen this work in so many different scenarios, it's not even funny. Like even when I'm running an organization, okay, and I've noticed that people had certain ideas and thoughts about this organization because its brand was a little tarnished for whatever reason from the past situations that happened, right? Well, when I came in and I came in as president, and even before that, I was the director of special events for this organization, it made a huge difference. And the brand started to change. You know why? Because this pretty face right here. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to come. Just kidding. No, what for real though, I really showed up and I made myself present in front of the people. Like people knew who I was. Okay, so people would end up coming to the events because of me. Like literally people told me this. They were like, oh my God, like you really made me feel comfortable. Like you made me feel comfortable to come to these events. I'm nervous about networking, or I'm nervous about this, or I didn't know how this was going to be. But you know, you're so friendly, you're so open, and you're so welcoming, and you make it seem like this is actually pretty cool. This seems like a cool thing, you know what I mean? So it made people actually come more because as leadership, I was in the front. I was in the front. So people saw literally how I genuinely cared, how I genuinely wanted everybody to have a good experience. I wanted to know their feedback. I wanted to create things that really were in alignment with what they wanted. They saw that I cared about my customer. And guess what? That made them show up more and bring their friends. And guess what? That upped our sales. That upped our credibility. That upped our brand. And the brand had already existed for many years before, right? So I wasn't the founder. I wasn't the creator, nothing. I was just the leader for those 2 years. But me coming to the front of it made people feel connected to the brand, like in a way that they didn't before. Okay? So how does this actually bring more customers, right? How does being the center of your brand bring more customers? Because people buy from people that they like. People want to spend money towards something or someone they feel good about. So if, let's say, there's two different cleaning companies that you're choosing from to come clean your office, your room, your house, whatever, right? And you meet the two people, same price, same kind of service, who are you going to pick, right? The last differentiating factor, if everything's the same, is who do you like better? Well, that person just seems nicer. The other person had a stick up their ass. Or this person, I just resonated with them. I really connected with them because we speak the same language. Or maybe like, they have 2 kids and I have 2 kids, so they're like more considerate or they understand how to really clean. So like people buy because of the leadership. People buy because of the person that they're connecting with. So how does this boost your sales? People are more likely to buy from you when they like you. And the only way they're going to like you is if they know you. And the only way for them to know you is for you to be in your brand. So now let me get into 3 ways and 3 strategies of how you can actually come into your brand. How do you become the center of your brand? How do you become the front of your brand? How do you weave it in without being sleazy or without being like, hey, everybody look at me. You know what I mean? Because that's not what it's about. It's more really about showing your heart and your drive behind the company, right? And showing your personality and things that people can relate to. It's really about being relatable and likable. Okay. And it also creates a sense of trust. You guys may have heard the know, like, and trust factor, right? So people know you, they have to like you, they have to trust you. And that over time gets people to want to buy from you. All right. So here's 3 ways you can do it. So when you're writing content, whether it's your newsletter, your social media posts, your Instagram, whatever it may be, what you can do is share a story, share a relevant story in your content. So instead of just going straight into giving tips about whatever, have a little bit of a story that relates to whatever those tips are. Okay, like let me give you guys an example. Let me think of one. Just a few weeks ago, I wrote an email about what was it about? I think it was about the Got Marketing Training Series, and the story that I shared in there was like, hey, this is actually how I started my business. I literally taught 6 weeks of free marketing classes. I really got out there, and then at the end of like 10 weeks, I made $3,000. So getting seen really works and marketing works. And let me show you guys how you guys can do this yourself. So I added in a personal story because people like to know context. They like to know backgrounds. They just like to connect, right? So sharing that story, it was a relevant story, not just random stories, but it was relevant in there makes a big difference. Another way is to share the behind the scenes. Okay, what is the behind the scenes of what's going on in your business, right? Maybe you're writing a book and you can show the behind the scenes of your writing process, right? Because people will feel more connected to you as an author when they really see the effort and the work going into the production of it. Like that's pretty cool, right? So I want you guys to think about that. Think about how you can share a relevant story in your content. And you don't have to go so crazy thinking about it. Just think of something like, oh, like what would relate to this, Sharing a behind the scenes, a story, a video, anything like that. Showing even your office, like where you work from. Things like that make people feel more connected to you. Another thing you can do is share your personality quirks or something unique about you that people would remember. Because people are going to remember these random things that you share more than they're going to actually always remember maybe your products or services. Like, dead serious. When I was writing my newsletter for my blog, ilivewithjoy.com, at that point, people would like come up to me because at that point it was like all my family and friends who were on my newsletter. So like I would run into people who were on my newsletter, you know? So they would remember like exact details of a story that I wrote in there from like a year ago. Or like, oh, I remember how you said that you were doing XYZ, like, and they'll remember that detail. Like it's like, so you want to be in people's mind when they're thinking about purchasing for whatever that thing is that you offer, right? So they will feel connected to you through stories and the behind the scenes and these personality or unique things that you can share that maybe otherwise people wouldn't know. And I had shared this with my marketing community, but like, you know, I shared in my content that I wanted to be a DJ when I was 16 years old, and my dad didn't let me because I was a woman. And he was just like, no, girls do not DJ. It's dangerous. You know, it's going to be drunk people and all this. And like, he had valid points and all that kind of stuff. But the truth was, I was pissed and I was upset. And I shared this, right? I shared the story because I wanted to share about how much I love music. So I talked about how I've always been the DJ in my friend circle. Like, whenever I'm in the car, like I'm in charge of playing the music, things like that. And so because I wrote that and I talked about it, like people remembered that. Like I literally went on a business trip to Texas a few months ago or earlier in this year. And like there were two different people who brought up the DJ thing. They were like, hey girl, like one person picked me up from the airport. She was like, hey girl, like put on some music. I know you got the jams in your phone. And it's crazy because like this is such a personal thing to me. Like everybody who knows me in my personal life knows how much I love music and how I listen to all these different songs that you don't hear on the radio. And like I always have good beats because I love music with good beats, right? But what's crazy is my community, my audience, my clients, like nobody knew that about me, but it's such an integral part of my life. So it's just interesting that like such a big part of my life that I didn't even share in my brand. So it showed me how much I'm not in my brand. You know what I mean? So that's something that I've really been doing and it's been working, right? So here's a solid example of an actual sale coming from it. So I shared a personal story in my newsletter of something personal that happened to me in middle school, right? It was like I don't know if it was about bullying or something like that. It was deep, okay? And it was very serious and I talked about some vulnerable things. And literally that same day, somebody emailed me and said, "I'm signing up for your marketing course today because of that email you just sent." And I was like, "What? That's so fascinating, so cool, right? To see that email, and that email I wasn't even talking about marketing at all. But this client was debating joining my course or not, right? And this client had told me that this client asked for a sign if they should work with me or not. And that email that I sent out resonated with this client so deeply that that was the sign for the client that I'm going to work with her. Cool, right? So you can see how being in your brand really makes a difference because people want to see who they're buying from, who they're going to be working from, who they're going to be working with, right? Or buying from, what kind of vibe. You know, people have literally told me that they signed up to work with me because of my vibe, literally, because of my vibe. They were like, yo, I just knew. I just really liked you. I just really liked your vibe. And because of that, I decided to work with you for marketing. I just like your vibe, period. And I was like, cool. I like that. You know what I mean? Because like when people vibe with you, they want to buy from you. Okay? So your assignment this week is to think of, let's do one. Think of one way you can add yourself into your brand. Okay? Whether it's a story, whether it's a behind the scenes that you think of that you can share, or something unique about you. So pick one of those and see what comes up for you and post it in this group with hashtag Got Marketing. So if you're watching this on YouTube later, then you want to make sure you sign up at marketingwithaditi.com to make sure you're part of my group, my community, so you can get my emails for when I do more trainings like this. And you can also participate and put your assignment inside of the Facebook group, which you'll get access to once you sign up here first. Okay, so marketingwithaditi.com, sign up there and come join us. Come join us and let's do this and let's get your brand out there and let's get you in your brand. Let's get you in front of your brand. All right, you guys, my name is Aditi. I am a marketing strategist and leadership coach, and I'm honored to work with you guys. And let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's keep it moving. And I look forward to seeing your assignments. All right, see you guys soon.